Welcome back to Beauty and the Beach, your one stop for local sports radio.
What are you doing?
Isn't that what we're doing?
No, we haven't changed the name. Okay. Welcome back to the Vinyl Word Podcast. I'm Steve Beach.
And I'm Brian Mayer. Hello.
So we are starting kind of a new little series, a different kind of record than what we've been used to.
Yes.
Here lately. So this one is Wheaties presents Jack Armstrong.
The All-American Boy.
That's right.
Yes, it's as ridiculous as it sounds. Apparently, way back in the 1920s and 30s, Wheaties used a radio program, a 1/2 hour review show, to advertise their products. For whatever reason, they decided that Jack Armstrong was going to be the best way that they could use to sell a cereal that tastes like the box it comes in.
Yes, it does.
To an unsuspecting public.
If you can imagine, if you've ever seen the movie Christmas Story, when they're sitting around the radio and he's got the secret decoder pen or whatever writing down the letters, that's kind of what Jack Armstrong was.
Yeah, and
which was kind of boring, I think, but that's all they had.
Just so people at home can see, there is a picture of Jack Armstrong on the front sleeve. Just close your eyes and imagine the whitest white person that you have ever seen in your life.
Yes.
And that's him.
Yeah, very atypical. And if you visit our Facebook page, we always update our cover page and has a picture of that record.
I would recommend it this time.
Yeah,
because,
so you'll be able to actually see it. And also, we're kind of doing something a little different, too, to kind of add in with something we haven't done before. So I know we've talked about before that I have this weird collection of some music, I guess, for lack of a better word. I guess it is music, just very strange.
I will allow you to use this term, but you are on probation.
Yeah. It's records that actually involve singing. So we didn't want to do like a whole episode of some of these songs.
Because we care about you guys listening, and we would drive you away and cause traffic accidents if you're listening while driving.
Yes, we want you to continue to listen. So out of like the 20 songs that are on this record, we only chose 2 to torture you with, I guess. And it's called Healthy is Wealthy by Songs from the Adventures of Slim Goodbody in Nutri-City.
Yes. And if I can describe Slim Goodbody to people, again, the picture will be up, but if you can imagine if Stephen King was asked by Sesame Street to make a Muppet, he would make Slim Goodbody, because it is equal parts earnest and educational, but also deeply unsettling. Slim Goodbody's whole shtick is that he wears a suit that has all of the organs and muscles on the outside. And he does it with a 1970s white man afro.
Yes, so it looks very strange. And the songs that are on there are equally as weird.
Yes, they are. Now, they're attempting to be educational and entertaining. And
they conquered neither.
Yes, that's...
They failed twice.
But they tried. But that's why we're not playing this for you, is because, egads, it's an auditory assault on the ears.
It is. But we wanted to share the horrible joy with you as listeners, and only 2 songs. So after this episode, Jack Armstrong, we're going to play a couple of songs by Slim Goodbody.
Yep, and we'll just transition right into them. The radio serials are interesting. I'm looking forward to kind of going through that.
And it's kind of funny, too, because,
corporate
sponsorship. We talked about Wheaties sponsoring Jack Armstrong. And on the Slim Goodbody, it's also something special from Kraft.
Uh-huh.
This episode of Vinyl Word is not sponsored by Wheaties or Kraft.
Right. We thank them for the providing of the material, and they are thankful that they are not paying us to support their products.
Because they would not.
Right. This is not that.
Right.
All right. Well, Steve, if you're good, let's go ahead and drop the needle and we can get this going.
Jack Armstrong!
Jeff Balance, Jack Nicholson.
Jack Armstrong,
Jack Parr.
the all-American boy.
That's what he said, Armstrong.
Wave the flag across in high voice, show them how we stand. Ever shall a team be champions.
Listen to bass line, I thought I'd add it.
Well,
Wheaties, breakfast of champions, bring you the thrilling adventures of
I wouldn't say
Jack
thrilling.
Armstrong, the all-American boy. Listen, fellas and girls, you know what I'd like to do right now?
Stop
well,
talking.
I'll tell you. I'd like to ring bells and blow whistles because...
What the heck is he?
Thanks, Mr. Sound Effects Man. Yes,
Is that before
today is
sound
really
effects
good
people had
news
titles
day.
like Foley?
Here's the story.
Right.
In the first place, today Jack Armstrong starts on a brand new radio adventure. One of the most exciting
a
and
brand new
dangerous
radio
he's ever
adventure?
had.
I think so.
I know you won't want to miss a single episode of
It
this
wouldn't matter, they
thrilling
can't
Jack
see him
Armstrong
anyway.
adventure. In the second place, we're welcoming back a lot of Jack Armstrong's old friends.
All 2 of them.
We're mighty glad to have you back
Poor
with us.
guy.
And there's a very special welcome for the fellas and girls who are hearing this program for the first time today.
A free box of Wheaties.
We hope that you'll all
Yeah.
get a lot of thrills and real pleasure out of Jack Armstrong's newest adventure, and that you'll make the acquaintance of those extra good Wheaties flakes right away. You know, right now, at the very beginning of a new school year and at the start of a brand new Jack Armstrong
you
series
lonely?
is a mighty
Wheaties
fine
will
time
help.
to start making Wheaties
Are you
your
being
regular
bullied?
year-round
Eat
breakfast
Wheaties.
dish.
You'll
So,
become a
Would you
champion.
do this for me?
Are you a bully?
Would
Eat
you eat
more
a breakfast
Wheaties.
of champions the next 4 mornings in a row? Then ask yourself,
What the heck
if
did I
you've
just
ever
do?
found any other breakfast dish that gives you as much
You can also
real
ask
pleasure
yourself,
and satisfaction
why am I in the bathroom all day?
as this combination of
Wheaties was
Wheaties,
version 1.0
milk,
of Colon
and
Blow.
fruit. Chances are you'll want to climb right on the Wheaties bandwagon
Climb
with
right
the
on the
rest of
toilet.
Jack Armstrong's friends. And it's my bet that you'll say
The
Wheaties have
Wheaties
a
bandwagon
flavor
is also
that's
just known as the throne.
absolutely different and better than any other breakfast dish you've ever tasted.
Provided you're having bacon
now,
and eggs
Jack
with it.
Armstrong, the all-American boy.
Oh, American boy.
After their thrilling experiences on Easter Island,
They found the
Jack,
Easter
Billy,
Bunny.
and Betty have
And
returned to
killed him.
Hudson to
Oh.
continue their studies. Uncle Jim is back in Hudson, too, and is engaged in experiments in developing
he's
a new
married to his
type
work.
of power so that his airplanes
But
can
not
fly
in the way you're
tremendous
thinking.
distances without stopping to refuel. Right now, Jack is busy, too. In
We
his
don't wanna
workshop
know.
at home, he's hurriedly putting the finishing touches on his new shortwave receiver. So
colored
Billy
it
and
pink.
Betty are driving out alone to Uncle Jim's office at the airplane factory.
The
with an
airplane
important-looking
factory?
letter that they've just picked
What
up
do
at
they
the
make
post
there,
office. Listen.
I don't know.
Paper airplanes?
I
Say,
need
Betty,
them to be
this
more
looks like
specific.
an important letter for Uncle Jim. Sure hope he's at
Was
the
this
airplane
made right at the
factory.
Well, it ought to
beginning of
be
the
important,
Industrial
Billy,
Revolution?
with all those stamps on it.
I'll say. Came all the way from the Philippines in a clipper ship.
The Philippines?
Gosh,
What's that?
wouldn't I like to make
Oh, the Philippines
I
are an
hope
island
it
off
doesn't mean that
the
Uncle
southeast
Jim will
coast
have
of
to go to
Asia.
the Philippines.
But that's
I
not
hope it
important
does,
right now.
Betty.
Okay.
Then maybe we can go with him.
Oh, there's the factory. But, Billy, the shades to Uncle Jim's office are pulled down.
I can see his window from all the way up here.
We're going to have to find out
And
where
we
he
know
is
how
and take this
Jim's
letter
an
to him.
Oh, I
exhibitionist.
think he's in. I just saw someone pull the shade aside and look out for a moment.
Yeah, so
Funny.
shades open
Uncle Jim
all
never
the
has his
time.
shades down when he's
And
in.
I mean,
Well,
all
here we are.
the time.
Get out, Betty, and we'll see who's in Uncle Jim's office.
Uncle Jim ought to be here this time of day.
Oh, I don't know, Betty. He's
Did
been
they just
spending a lot
parachute
of
from the
time
airplane to his
experimenting with
office?
atomic power in that
Sounds
big
like it.
laboratory that's built in the middle of Nobbs Hill.
His door's closed. We better knock.
like your heart.
Housekeeping.
I guess he's not in.
You want mint for
Wait a
pillow?
minute. The door's not locked. Let's look inside. Nope, he's not here. Gosh, what's been going on in here?
Why is there a trapeze in here?
Billy, look.
Why are there bottles of
is
wine and
topsy-turvy.
scented
I'll say
candles?
It is. Look at Uncle Jim's desk. All the drawers pulled out, papers scattered
And his
over
drawers are
everywhere,
hanging,
while
too.
even the telephone is knocked over.
And look at those filing cabinets. Billy, somebody's been in them, too.
Say, it looks as though a cyclone had swept through the office.
I'll bet the cyclone
Cyclonus.
had two legs, Billy.
Yeah,
Remember,
the wrestler.
somebody was looking outside through the shade when we came in the grounds.
That's right. But where could he have gone to? Look, I bet you he slipped out through the next room. The door's open. Come on, let's
He
look.
walked through a door?
Right. It's just
There's no one in
crazy
here
enough to
now.
work.
Nothing but Uncle Jim's shortwave radio set.
No, of course he isn't here now. If he was a burglar or a prowler or someone who had no business here, he naturally would beat it the minute that he saw somebody coming. And I bet you he got out this way. He could have come in here as soon as
Maybe
he saw
they
us and
left
then gone into the
when
hallway
you
through that
got
door
there?
and made his
Because they
escape through
didn't
the
want to
back
be
of the
caught?
building.
No.
Hadn't we better telephone Uncle Jim at the laboratory right away?
You bet we had. We'll use Uncle
Is that
Jim's
the
private
laboratory?
wire, too. Hello?
I think maybe lavatory.
Hello?
Oh, lavatory. Okay.
Yeah.
Hello?
All those Wheaties.
That's
Yep.
funny. The telephone's
Where
as dead
most
as
of
a
this is going to
doornail.
take place. You're going to
Gosh,
hear a lot
I'll
of
bet you the wires are cut.
Wait a second, I'll look.
Give me a second.
They're not cut here, Billy.
Say, that's bad. That means that they've been cut from the outside, Betty. Every phone in the building will be dead.
We can run over to the laboratory in the car. Come on, let's hurry.
No, wait, I've got a better idea. Jack ought to be in on this. I'll bet you we can get him on Uncle Jim's shortwave transmitter. Jack told me he was going to work on his
Shortwave
receiver this
transmitter.
afternoon.
I hope he's testing it and we'll pick up your
He's
signal.
always testy.
There. Now, as soon as the tubes warm up, we can transmit.
Put your hands
There,
on the
they're
tube.
warming up now.
Make them warm.
J.F. Hudson calling J.A. Hudson.
JFK calling RFK.
J.F. Hudson
Betty, show me
calling
your tubes.
J.A. Hudson.
Hello, this is J.A. That you, Billy?
That's Jack. He's answering.
Tell him to come right over.
Glad you called, Billy. It gives me a chance to test out my set.
Oh, thank goodness it
Lego set?
works.
Right. Jack, are you grabbing Betty's tubes?
Betty and I are over here at Uncle Jim's office
Are
at the
they
plane
warm?
factory. Uncle Jim isn't here, but somebody has been searching his papers, Jack. Gosh, the place is a wreck.
Searching through his drawers.
You and Betty look around for clues, and I'll jump in the car and be right over.
Oh, swell, Jack, and make it fast. Signing off. Gosh, he'll be over here in a couple of minutes, Betty. Come on, let's see what we can find.
That's his
Everything's such a
charcuterie board.
mess. It's going to be hard to find a clue.
Well, gee, Betty, when things are in a mess, it's easiest to find clues. I'll
No,
examine
it
the
isn't.
desk, and you look over there, all over the rest of the room. Yeah, she didn't seem to leave much, did he? I mean, much of anything that'd give him away.
I can't find anything
That's a
either.
good crook.
Maybe
Yeah.
there's something by the window where he was looking through the shade. Billy,
What's the matter? Find something?
no. But there's a man outside.
But she didn't
standing
find
by
anything.
A car. He's looking at this window.
Let me see.
He was wearing a luchador wrestling mask.
Say, he does look
He
suspicious,
really
doesn't
is Cyclonus.
I don't remember ever seeing him before.
He's
Betty.
out there with Mean Gene Okerlund.
Gosh, that's a let me
Show ya when I get my hands on you.
Let's quick run out and see who he is before he gets away.
Oh, he's jumped into his car, Billy. He's leaving. Can't we catch him in
pay
our
the
car?
check.
Oh, not a chance, Betty. Gosh, my bus gets St. Vitus dance when it hits 40. Why, he's making 60
We've
already.
listened to that 100 times.
Here
We
comes
still have
Jack
no idea what he said.
Yeah.
My, he did her.
Also, don't they have access to a
Jack,
plane to go
did
find
you
him
see
that goes
that
much
car that
faster?
just
Well,
went
they
by
should
you?
have access to
That
all the
one job
planes.
that was
They're
doing
in an
60.
airplane
That's the one.
factory.
We think he got away in it. Who?
The man who was rifling Uncle Jim's office.
Boy, I wish I'd known. I'd have forced him into the ditch. I
Violence.
can't catch him now.
The
He's out of
American
sight.
way.
He's been
Always.
all through Uncle Jim's papers. The office is turned inside out.
Did you find any clues, Billy?
Gosh, not a thing, Jack. Maybe there's some fingerprints around. We didn't
No,
have time.
fingerprints won't help much now. We can get them later anyway. Where's Uncle Jim?
We
He's
don't
not
need
here,
things
Jack.
like
We think he's
evidence.
at the atomic laboratory in Nobbs Hill.
We don't need
And the
fingerprints, but
telephone
we'll get 'em
wires are
later.
Cut here.
They are. Gee, that
Oh,
looks
let's go
serious.
to the laboratory, Jack, and tell Uncle Jim. Anyway, we've got an important letter from the Philippines to deliver to him.
I bet we'll go there, Betty. You two hop in my car and we'll run right over. Let me have that letter, Billy.
Here you are, Jack.
I won't promise to go as fast as that fella did, but we'll go as fast as the law allows.
But, Jack, do you know
There's
why
one
Uncle
thing
Jim
we
is
need to
spending
do.
so
It's
much
follow
time
the
in
law.
laboratory?
He's working with some
When you're
other
catching a
scientists
criminal.
and experiments in
He's
atoms
stealing
today, Betty.
atomic secrets.
Why?
Don't you remember what Uncle Jim taught us last year about atoms? They're the smallest possible particle of matter. And if you can split them, you release a tremendous amount of energy.
That's right,
Or
Betty.
destroy
and
the
if
world.
Uncle Jim can find a way to
It's
use
gonna be
that
one or the
energy,
other.
he can make engines
I'm
a
betting it Hope's
1,000
airplanes.
times more powerful than
It's
a
a
gasoline
50-50
engine.
crapshoot.
Oh, Billy. Why, that sounds impossible.
Well, it is impossible so far, but someday they'll do it. And Uncle Jim
Hey,
thinks
and
it's
we'll
going
all
to be
be
very
sorry.
soon.
Oh, there's the top of Nobbs
We'll live
Hill
in
now.
constant terror for decades.
Jack, why is the laboratory built inside
We'll
the
teach
hill?
small children to hide underneath their desks.
Oh, for gosh sakes, what's a cyclotron?
It
It's
won't
something
help.
that generates hundreds of millions of volts. They bombard the atoms with this high voltage. So it's dangerous, awfully dangerous. That's why they built the cyclotron
That's
in
why
a rock
Americans mess
chamber
with it,
right in the
because it's
middle of the hill.
dangerous.
There's the door that leads into the hill right now.
Run with me, friends, towards the
Jack,
danger.
Look at that car parked there. Isn't that the same one that went by you so fast?
You're right, Billy.
Wait a minute,
The very
did-
same one.
Did they
Then
just catch
maybe
up to a car that
same
passed?
man is
Yes,
inside the
I'm confused.
laboratory now.
Are we
He's in
listening
Uncle
to a
Jim's
radio
laboratory
drama or
office
watching
now.
Primer?
Hold
I'm not sure.
Get out quickly. We'll see if he's in there. I'll open the door for you, Betty. There's a long hallway, and Uncle Jim's
Chivalry,
office is
of
at the other
course.
end. Come on, Billy.
Right.
There's a light in his office, Jack. Uncle Jim must be there.
Either Uncle Jim or that other chap.
The door's closed.
Cyclonus is
Somebody's
there.
in there. I can see his shadow through the glazed glass.
Jumping Jiminy, Jack. That's not Uncle Jim in there. He's too thin.
Soon find
Uncle
out.
Jim is 300
Hey,
pounds.
I'm going in.
And ticked.
Say, who are you? And what are you doing in here?
Who are you? By what right you come in here?
Why, what right? Say, we've got a lot more right here than you have.
Jack, he is the same man who broke in Uncle Jim's office. He's done the same thing right here.
Boy, he's
Been all
smart.
through Uncle Jim's papers and
Oh,
everything.
watch him closely, Jack. He's about to do something.
I'm watching him, Betty. Now you. How about explaining just what you're doing here, searching through those desks and files?
What I do here is my business. I shall go now. Stand aside.
Oh, no, you don't. Quick, Billy, close that door.
Welcome everyone to tonight's cage match with the All-American Boy against Cyclonus, the whirling dervish from parts unknown.
Right here by this door. And you're not going out until we get Captain Fairfield. Betty, see if you can
Armstrong
find us
starts
a
the
gym.
match with a strike to the chest.
Oh, no, you're not.
That'll take the wind out of him, Gene.
Yep. Jack has a history of using foreign objects, so the refs are going to have to be on the lookout for.
Shall I smash this chair over your head?
Watch him, Jackie. Looks dangerous.
Jack is joined at ringside by the lovely sweet Jetty Betty
What do you mean, get you? Oh, I'll duck.
and his tag partner Billy the Butcher.
Look out, he's coming.
The ref needs to keep an eye on them too. They've interfered with a number of matches.
Speaking of that, a dirty move from Jack, knocking Cyclonus over Billy from behind. I know he's supposed to be the All-American Boy because of his voice, but it should be because he does whatever it takes to win.
Shoulders down on the floor. Holding up, Jack. He'll never break away from
And what's this? What's happening?
He's getting the wire from that picture.
Oh, of all the nerve, they've tied Cyclonus up, Jerry, with wire. The ref has to disqualify him now. This is a disgrace, a travesty, a mockery of our great sport.
Now, Gene, we don't know what was said. Perhaps Cyclonus is stealing atomic secrets from his uncle.
Hurry up. You've got him for the moment. Here, wrap one end around his wrist. This way. Push its own holds. Here, Billy, help me hold his arms together. All right, Jack, we've got him now. Tie it to the other wrist, Betty. Atta girl, wrap it around and around. There you are.
And that concludes Cyclonus versus the All-American Boy. From all of us here at Nobbs Hill, I'm Gene.
And I'm Jerry. Join us next week for the rematch.
Now I guess you'll wait until Uncle Jim comes.
This is an outrage. You will pay for this.
Well, if that's an
In
outrage,
nickels
why don't you
and
yell for
pennies.
help? We aren't keeping you from
take
yelling.
Diners Club?
Tell you will pay for this. I shall not forget.
I have already invoiced you.
Good job.
I am a lawyer. These are billable hours.
Well, let's find
all
Uncle
of
Jim
them.
and see what's going on here.
Say, looks
Hey,
as though Jack
hey,
and
boy.
Billy and
Say,
Betty have
Billy.
really stumbled into some excitement, doesn't it? But who is this mysterious stranger?
They're awfully
And why
nosy.
is he interested
Right.
in Uncle Jim's papers? Has Uncle Jim some important secret he's trying to guard?
He likes
Listen
newspaper.
in, all of
Why
you,
are
at
his
the
eyes
same
so
time
blue?
tomorrow, and see what happens inside Nobbs Hill with Jack Armstrong, the All-American
Boy.
Say, here's a riddle that's mighty easy to solve.
Oh, the horse's
How
name
can
was
you have
Tuesday.
a different breakfast every morning.
42.
And yet
Wrecked
have
him.
the same
It nearly
breakfast
killed him.
every morning. Well, the answer's as simple as ABC.
1,
It's
2,
a
3.
breakfast of champions.
ABCs.
Now, let's say you had a bowl of Wheaties with milk and cream, along with a big glass of orange juice this
And a
morning.
gun.
All right. Then tomorrow you'll have Wheaties with milk and bananas.
And donuts.
Next day you
and
can
ice
top
cream.
off your Wheaties with milk and sliced peaches, and so on.
And 5 pounds of
It's
bacon.
always a breakfast of champions, no matter what Wheaties, milk, and fruit combination you pick. And say, take it from me, variety like that helps make breakfast a real high spot in your day. Get Wheaties right away,
Especially when
and
you add
then
meat.
remind Mother to fix you a different breakfast of champions every morning. Have you tried Wheaties?
Nope.
They're whole wheat with all of the bran.
Cardboard.
This is Franklin McCormick saying goodbye until tomorrow for General Mills,
Bye, Franklin.
makers of
And I'm General
Wheaties,
Store.
Breakfast of
And I'm
Champions,
General Admission.
who have just presented another episode of Jack Armstrong, the All-American Boy.
Boy.
The best breakfast food in the land. Wave the flag for Hudson High, boys. Show them how we stand.
Okay, everybody. Take an
Okay.
imaginary piece of food out of the air.
Grab
Put
some
it into your
pollen.
mouth and
Or
begin
some
to
buds
chew
to
it up.
chew on.
That's good. Now move it around with your tongue. Your tongue is a muscle. Now I want you to chew your food well. It's very important to get it nice and soft and wet before you swallow. Don't gobble.
Nice, soft,
okay,
and
chew
wet.
it up. Now swallow.
My kind of food.
I want
Yeah.
everybody to learn a song with me. It's called Down, 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 and it goes
About
like
hell.
down, 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 down.
The song is dum, 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 dum.
After you swallow the food, it moves through a tube called the esophagus. Everybody say esophagus.
It's a,
Good.
it's a,
Now, your
it's a
esophagus is
fungus.
also a food tube, so everybody say
A food tube.
Now the food moves down the esophagus and goes
great?
into your stomach where it gets
It's like a gigantic
churned up
straw.
and
I can
dissolved
feel
in
the
stomach
education.
juices. Sing with me. Down, 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 down,
Push it down, down, push it down.
Is this about repressed emotions?
I think so.
By the time the food leaves your stomach, it's been dissolved into a thick liquid. Now the food
Kind of
gets
like a
pushed
milkshake.
into your small intestine, which is a curled-up tube that's over 6 meters long.
Steve, this
Juice
song
from
is
your
less
liver
sexy
pours
than I
down to
remember.
dissolve it even more. Now, some of the food passes into the bloodstream through the walls of the small intestine. It gets carried away to all parts of your body. The leftover parts of the food, which your body can't use, goes into the large intestine, and
Into the-
later on it's passed out
goes
from
into
your
the
body.
crapper.
Now, everybody take an imaginary piece of food, look at that food, smell that food, and say, I love
It has no
you,
smell.
food.
It's imaginary.
Good. Sing
Imagine
with
it
me.
becoming
Ready? Let's
imaginary
go.
turds.
Down, 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 down,
Flush
down,
it down, down, flush it down to the sewer.
Now I want you to do something tonight. When
No.
you eat dinner with your parents, I want you to take a piece of food, chew it up, swallow it, smile at your parents, and begin to sing down, down,
And they'll quickly
down,
call
down,
a psychiatrist
down,
for you,
down,
right?
Down, 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 down,
He's
down,
going to kill us.
down,
Maintain
down,
eye
down.
contact with them all the time.
Down, down,
Sing the song over them at night while they're sleeping.
down, 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 down.
Father, you're going down, 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 down,
I'm gonna take you down. Oh boy, that was creepy.
We have a special treat for all of you. Professor U.B. Harry of Cranium State University
that makes me
and his
IB bald.
assistant Hairbrush have consented to sing a song on this album. Professor?
Professor.
I know this tune.
Wonderful hair.
This is the Pizza song.
It's our head of hair. Now let's compare.
Is he singing with Elmo?
It sounds like it.
Early or late. Curly or straight.
Curly or straight?
Let's not talk about the curly ones.
Oh my goodness.
Which it grows. Good fully gold. If your hair
It grows out of your ear. It's very weird. It's your hair. Rogaine, Rogaine.
People have different kinds of hair, different colors, different lengths. Some hair is wavy.
Some people like their partner baby smooth. In that case, no hair. Go nair.
Sometimes it goes away, sometimes it goes gray. It's your hair.
It makes you sad as you get older. It's your hair.
It will grow where you don't want it to. It's your hair. Sing it, Elmo.
Right.
Bring it home. Is he saying Caligula?
I made my favorite horse the senator.
So as you can hear, this is why we only chose 2. Sorry, we apologize.
Steve, I ain't gonna lie. During the second one, I really thought to myself, 2 might be too much.
Yeah. 2 too many.
You know, like Slim Goodbody, again, good intention. So many of these records come from a place of earnestness, but I'm not sure what was lost between 40 years ago when these records were made and today, but egads.
Yeah, somewhere in the execution got lost.
Yeah.
Could have found a better way. But
Right.
yeah, we talked about Jack Armstrong. There's 4 episodes, so we have 3 other beautiful records to listen to.
Yeah.
So those will just keep getting progressively worse.
Well, you know, like, it's fun, but like, you know, I want
It is.
I want to drop a little bit of fun knowledge here. But first, I want to talk about Illuminated Misfit. We are a new podcast, and so we want to share other good podcasts that we have heard. And one of those is Illuminated Misfit, a brand new podcast.
Yeah. The guy's name is Justin Eck. Does a really fine job, and even just listening to him was very engaging. He very much has a radio voice.
Yes.
But yeah, if you get a chance to listen to him, look that up, Illuminated Podcast. He shares some interesting tidbits about history. Like he'll focus on a certain story.
Lesser known.
Yeah, lesser known. Like the last one was about the Chicago fires back in the early 1900s. So he shares some information about that. So yeah, it's a really good podcast. We've kind of communicated back and forth and stuff. So yeah, there's some really good podcasts out there in the sea of thousands.
Oh my goodness, so many.
So we want to thank you for listening to us, but just want to encourage you and make you aware of some other good podcasts that we've come across too.
Right. And I wanted to give just a little bit of fun knowledge here. Steve, you need like 2 basic ingredients with cereal. One being the cereal, and the other is
A spoon.
Damn it,
A bowl.
Steve.
Oh,
Ingredients.
Milk. Sorry. Milk. You need milk,
Yes,
Brian.
yes,
Sorry.
you do.
Wrong
Okay.
answer.
And here's a fun little fact. Skim milk, I've just...
Gross.
Yeah, well, but there's a reason it exists. And the way that it came about is kind of from a shady beginning.
Okay, do tell.
Yeah. Back in the late 18th century, 19th century, when you had milkmen. And those
Right.
milkmen had a cart with a barrel of milk that they would go cabin to cabin, and they would dispense milk from their barrel to you. Not everybody could afford glass jars or they didn't swap them out. So you just had this. They would go to the dairy and they would fill up their barrel. You remember these barrels. We're talking those classic
Right.
oak barrels.
Oak barrels, yeah.
And those barrels hold about 40 gallons. Not all milkmen were created equal. Some were a little more unscrupulous. And they, instead of filling up their barrel with 40 gallons of milk, would fill it up with 30 or even 20 gallons of milk.
Okay.
Then they would go down to the creek or wherever it is they got their water,
Oh, no.
and they would simply add water to get up to 40 gallons.
Oh, boy.
And then they would mix it up, and then they would drive around and sell 40 gallons worth of diluted milk.
So skim milk is not taking the very top skim. It's not skimming the top of the milk.
Originally, no. Originally, it was skimming from the people who were buying it from
obviously.
you. I was joking that I think they got the wrong vowel in skim. It should be scam.
Scam milk.
Yeah. One of the interesting things is people used to get sick and die from that because there could be something in the water. Or,
Oh, yeah, dysentery and all that fun stuff.
Or the cows could get into something, some kind of weed that is not poisonous to cows but is poisonous to people. So when you go to the store and you complain about the price of a gallon of milk, I want you to know at least it ain't killing you.
Right.
And you know what you're buying.
Right, exactly. Yeah, but we've been having fun doing all these records, especially this Jack Armstrong, and some of these songs with Slim Goodbody have been really interesting to listen to.
I'm curious to kind of get into some of the other ones that you have because, yes, like Steve really does have some truly interesting. He's got one where it's all about emotions for children.
Oh, yeah.
Another one that is children's exercise songs.
Yeah,
that
talking about animals.
Yeah, that's roughly
be a camel,
right.
be a dog, or whatever.
It's like a 9.5 on the creepy scale.
It's up there a lot. I know we've always mentioned that we have an email address, vinylword22@gmail.com. But yeah, we would love to hear from you guys. Just enjoy the show, don't like the show, or what you like about the show. Vinylword22@gmail.com, and of course our Facebook page as well, the Vinyl Word. You can always communicate with us through that as well.
Absolutely. And if you ever have any ideas for a future record for us.
Yeah, because as we find stuff, I know I found stuff on eBay, and this one guy had like literally 70 some odd records that were either musical or teaching stuff. There's one about CB language, which, if you know what a CB radio is, but anyway.
Yeah, congratulations, you're old.
Right, exactly. But yeah, it's just interesting to listen to those. But if you have one, you don't have to send it to us. I'm sure we can find it on eBay or an audio copy on YouTube somewhere, which we found on some of those.
The world is a strange place, and
Yes.
and we want to highlight some of those strange things.
Right, yeah, yes we do. thank you for listening.
Yep. Thank you guys. Listen again.